Once upon a time, there was a beautiful castle, and this castle had a wonderful, amazing garden which was full of beautiful flowers, attractive lawn, and also 12 peach trees. These peach trees during the springtime broke out into delicate blossoms of pink and pearl, and in the autumn bore rich fruit. This castle and the garden belonged to a giant. He was the owner of this. How happy we are here! The children used to talk to each other. They used to stop their games in order to listen to the hummingbirds who used to sit there on the trees. One fine day, the giant came back. "What are you doing here?" he cried in a very gruff voice, and the children ran away. "My garden is my own garden. Anyone can understand that, and I will allow nobody to play in it but myself." So, this selfish giant, built a high wall all round it and put up a notice board: "Trespassers will be prosecuted." He was actually a very selfish giant. Now the poor children had nowhere to play. They were left all alone. They were upset. What should they do? What should they wait for after their school? Where should they go to play? There were a lot of questions in their mind, and they used to recall those golden days. How happy we were there. They used to talk to each other. Now, gradually, the season changed. It was the spring season. Everywhere the blossoming flowers, everybody could see, but it was only and only the garden of the selfish giant where it was still winter. Spring has forgotten this garden, so we will live here all year round. The hail and the frost and snow, they cried to each other. The hail was not there, but they had invited it too. So now there were hail and winter and snow and frost, nothing else. Autumn came, spring came, but they read the same notice: "Trespassers will be prosecuted." The giant was really upset. He was disheartened to see how the entire city, the entire town was full of beautiful flowers. But why was it his garden only, which was without any kind of changes in weather? "He is too selfish," autumn and spring used to say. One fine morning, as the giant lay in his bed, he heard some lovely music. It sounded so sweet to his ears that he thought it must be the king's musicians passing by. But to his astonishment, it was really only a little linnet singing outside his window. But it was so long since he had heard a bird sing in his garden that it seemed to him to be the most beautiful music in the world. He immediately came to the window, as if he knew that the spring has finally come to his garden. To his surprise, he saw a few children had made a hole in the wall he had erected, and there were blossoms, there were beautiful flowers. The most attractive scene was there in front of his eyes. He could not believe it. But in a corner there was still winter. there was a little child who was trying to climb up. The giant could not stop himself. He wanted to help him. He softly opened the window, opened the door, and came out. The moment the children saw him coming, they ran away. But he came out, picked up the child, and put him onto a tree. The tree was very surprised. The creatures nearby were happy but surprised as well, since it was the giant, the same giant. Now they all became friends, as the giant had broken the wall, had also broken the notice board which he had put over there. They all became friends. Children used to come there to play after the school. "It is your garden now, little children," said the giant. "But where is your little champion, the boy I put into the tree?" Everybody was surprised because they said that they have never seen him after that day. Years and years passed by. The child did not come. Today, after the play was over, the giant saw that little child again. "Who had dared to wound thee? Who had dared to wound thee? Tell me, that I may take my big sword and slay him." As he saw the bleeding hands and feet of the child said, "It's nothing. It's the love of my people. You let me play once in your garden. Today you shall come with me to my garden, which is paradise." And when the children ran in that afternoon, they found the giant lying dead under the tree, all covered with white blossoms. Here the story ends. So, my dear students and my dear viewers and listeners, please write down what is the moral of the story. Thank you very much. Keep learning. Learning is living.